All right, welcome back to Let's Talk TV. And today, let's talk about social workers and visits, all in the system. Right after this.
I've been running this solo. I've been on my dollar. Everybody acting like they know me, but they don't know. I've been on go mode, never in slow mo. I only come in second to my GoPro. Losing that's a no-no. Losing that's a, losing that's a, losing that's a no-no.
All right, so let's talk about social workers and visits in the system. All right. If anyone knows anything about being in the system, when it comes down to being a foster child, your social worker is the person that is assigned to your case. So that person is the person that follows up on you and makes sure that everything is going right. Now, let me explain something about these social workers, right? You have some very, very, very dedicated, loyal, and good social workers out there. Then you got some that this is a job for them. Now, I'm not going to call out names or say any. These people, privacy is their business. The fact that they stayed in the business so long, you got to give them at least a little bit of credit. But I was in the system for quite a while, since 5 years old on. And it tends to be that a social worker will drop you off, and that is the last time you will see that social worker from that point on. Now, let me help you understand why this is an issue, right? This person is in control of making sure that that child is okay at all times. So, technically, that person should be following up to make sure that this kid is okay in all situations. You don't want to drop a kid off somewhere and say, hey, new foster home, you're good. Because I cannot reiterate nor state factually enough how bad some of these people who take children in are. Listen, there are some amazing foster parents out there. There are some amazing people out there. But all of them ain't. And I'm just calling a spade a spade. And when you drop a kid off, and I'm going to just tell you now, I've been in some houses and in some places where I had to be removed. But the crazy part about it is, it usually was not the fact that my social worker was following up with me to follow up. Hey, is he good? Is everything okay? Because it's not like they're calling me saying, hey, you all right? Everything good? You know, they're not. They drop you off. And from that point on, it's pretty much being like at a job where you ain't being trained correctly. Sink or swim. And I cannot tell you how bad of a scenario you can put a child in. Kids run away at early ages and make it on the street because they do not want to put up with some of the stuff that's happening in these houses. In some of these places, you're just a paycheck. And when people sit here and tell you that, oh, social workers are supposed to walk the house and make sure that everything is safe, what they are walking the house to see is that no loose wires are falling out of the ceiling or something crazy like that. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of times when they walk through, there could be holes all in the wall. Oh, yeah, well, this is all right. Seems pretty good to me. Good to go. They don't put that extra time in there to make sure that you're okay. Now, understand something. When you grow up in the system and you just getting put in any old home, what mindset does that give the child that's going in there? If you're willing to put me just any old where, then I'm not worth much, am I? My parents ain't here, so they don't obviously care about me. No one's picked me up, so my family obviously doesn't care about me. And then these people just drop me off here, so I guess this is my worth. And when these people are treating me some type of way, this is what I'm worth. So I'm a product of now my environment. I become what you have created. We need to understand that at some point, these children create part of a persona that you already gave them. Now, I'm just speaking out of me, out of fact of what I came up with. But when you put me in a certain situation and you say, hey, this is what it is, and then I don't see that social worker again, when I run away, when I act out, when I do something crazy, and then you come back and say, oh, this kid is uncontrollable, or hey, he ran away, or whatever the case may be. You don't really know the whole story. But you don't know the whole story because you weren't following up and making sure I was okay. So these are some of the things that kids go through in the foster system when you have social workers that are non-abundant. Those visits that they're supposed to make, I can tell you right now, I had a worker that dropped me off. DHS is a big corporation in Philadelphia. And they are the overall. And that's your overall caseworker. That is your overall social worker. But they will drop you off and branch you off to these other smaller services like Children's and Youth and people like that, right? And you won't see that DHS worker for a very long time. Years in between. Do you think they're, catching up? Now, in their part, it is possible that they have way too many cases at one time. But that's also not the child's fault. So this is a situation that you're putting these kids in. Because those visitations that they're supposed to be doing to follow up and make sure you're all right, don't exactly happen the way they're supposed to. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you like and subscribe if you like what you're watching. This is Let's Talk TV, and until next time, I'll see you
I've been running this so long. I've been on my dollar.